What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They're going to look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. Down the left sideline.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Jordan Addison.
65 yards.
And the Saints will strike first here, this wild card matchup.
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wright's got it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They'll go again here with Wright.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Let's go, guys.
They'll try and run for this with Wright.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about... responding, coming back. That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Back to throw here. Oh, he finds his running back who snuck right down the middle of the field. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Jalen Wright,
36 yards.
and the Buccaneers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll set up a throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
Javon Holland coming up to make the stop.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5.
This one taken in by Olave.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we could always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now back to throw. Incomplete. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They'll look to throw again. Being chased out left. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass.
2nd and 10.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
That's completed right side to Palmer.
His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's a diving catch right side. 1st down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end.
Let's go.
They'll run on 1st down with Wright.
20! And all the way down to the 7-yard line.
64 yards rushing for him in this first half as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Now a toss play for Wright.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Well, sometimes a tough game to figure out. One play he looks so good, and then the next play so bad, going backwards.
Yeah, in a span of 2 plays, you go from hero to GOAT, right, to use one of the cliches. But I think what often happens is you have a big run, and sometimes you try and do too much with your next one.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. From 13 yards out.
And the Buccaneers have taken the lead.
Elliott now to have the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Wright.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 5. And they'll go right back to Wright.
And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints 37. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
A give up the middle to Wright.
And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Complete to Wright. And some strong running. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Palmer going in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They'll drop to throw.
Open man, it's Palmer.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. They'll look to throw.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the zone read, a give to Wright.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He'll look to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
That is caught.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Taken in at the 22.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return.
And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range.
Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Let's go now.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Wright. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working, but they run it more effectively. It may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 6.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Tough spot here, third down and 11.
They're going to look to throw.
He lets it go deep for Olave.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
And the Bucs are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, his arm strength, never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. First and 10 upcoming. 92 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. They'll work the middle here with Wright.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Back to throw.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And running with power here.
Well, Charles, I know you appreciate seeing this great defense, especially with the heightened intensity of the postseason. These two defenses, they have risen to the occasion to force back-to-back interceptions.
You know me well, Brandon. I always stand with my fellow defenders, and I love watching them make plays, and you nailed it. It's playoff time. This is when it matters most.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This one incomplete and over everybody. Looked like a clear throwaway, but the officials, they're going to say there's a receiver over there in the area, so no flags, and it's 3rd down.
They'll set up to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Saints have retaken a third-quarter lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 17-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10.
And his throw here's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Let's go now.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On play action, they'll throw.
That's caught downfield by Addison.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a 1st down.
Let's go.
Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This to swell the lead to 6. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards that time.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
That ball caught. It's Rice.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
That's taken in by Palmer.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That's good for 28 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead.
Right. Touchdown. Buccaneers.
Elliott on for the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
They'll try and start this drive in the air, eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's a give up the middle. Room here to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down at a yard. And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he will find his man on the outside. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Here's second and a yard.
Let's go.
A first carry for Tyler Algier.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Another big play in a game that's had plenty of them. 4th and 2.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play, and they got it right there, partner.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. It's a quarterback sneak, and he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They'll try and sneak it here, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out,
and the Bucs will add to their 4th quarter lead.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. On some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move.
Here comes 2nd down.
They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Back to throw. And got his man complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game.
Huge play there. Now, do you use that timeout or try to hustle it up?
Here's 1st down.
He's back to throw.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, but they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Back to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Buccaneers have just about sewn up this football game.
Well, you can see what they were trying to do. Just send those guys out there to make a play, but that is a costly interception.
Yeah, that's kind of like the backyard. Everybody go deep, and let's see if we can find someone. 4 verticals in the route. Any other time of the game, I love the call. But here, you're not going to hold safeties. You're not going to hold corners with any looks because they know what the situation is. Ends up throwing the interception.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that? Being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on E!